Good morning, good morning, good morning. Love seeing you here for Fairy Garden Thursday. We do this every Thursday. It's an open collab. Anyone can join in. Please leave me a comment to make sure I know to go check out your channel to watch what you put together for Fairy Garden Thursday. This week we have 2 fairy gardens to share with you. Hope you enjoy them both. Here are our wonderful 3 co-hostesses. Please go check them out and see what they have to share. And they always have something wonderful in the fairy garden world. Well, here's our little gnomes coming home. Just put this one together today for Fairy Garden Thursday. I thought it turned out pretty good. And believe it or not, everything you see we've used in a past post. Nothing is new. Didn't spend a dime. This is a free post. I have my little yellow chairs and I found a little table. I told you I had one. I just had to go looking for it. Now this house I've had for probably 4 or 5 years. It's not new either. It's quite large and quite heavy, but this area is big enough to support a piece this size. But isn't it beautiful? And we still have a lot of bulbs blooming in the garden, if you can believe it. Look at all the beautiful daffodils still blooming, as fresh as the day I got them. And they're so big also, as you can tell, because there's my house down there and the daffodils are up here. I love these giant daffodils. I'm so glad that I found them. And here's my calla lilies, and my son has bought these for me in the past, but I got some this year for myself. We'll be planting these in our garden. Hopefully they'll last a while, for I'll have them again next year. Well, don't forget to let me know what you thought of the garden tour today. I used grass clippings to fill in the spaces I didn't want to see dirt. We have a little bit of fake grass that I planted. It is a real plant, and hopefully it will spread in here and make a nice ground cover. And we'll plant this up another 2 or 3 different ways, and we'll share with them in the next few weeks. So be prepared for some more fairy gardens over in this area. I thought it turned out pretty nice. What do you think? Now, some of these bulbs I had from last year, and they are blooming now. Let's see if I can get this one to share with you. This is not a new plant. This is from last year, and it's blooming again this year. I left it in its container so I wouldn't worry about messing it up. I left it in the container, left it in my garden, and when I saw it was blooming again, I pulled it out and brought the container over here. So it's still free because I purchased it last year. And plus it's been in videos last summer and this summer, and it's still going to bloom a lot more. As you can see, let me see if I can get some more over here. I have a bunch more that are still going to bloom. So I was really happy how all my bulbs are turning out in my fairy gardens. And some are starting to wane, but they'll be with me next year and we'll have lots more. But as you can see, every year I buy more and more bulbs, and I leave them in their containers and I use them again and again, year after year. Now, everybody does their gardens differently, so I'm just trying to do mine the easiest I can, because I don't want to worry about digging up bulbs. Sometimes they come back, sometimes they don't. But I always give them an opportunity to come back on their own. Got some of these plants I'm still going to put in the garden, like my calla lilies are going in the garden, and I have some more of those. And this plant here is going in the garden somewhere too. It has a beautiful container. I'm going to share that with you in a few minutes. The container I bought this year, and also the plant, but they've been in past posts. So what did you think, guys? Leave me a comment on this fairy garden number 1. I got this pot at Walmart, and when I saw it about a month ago, I said, I have to have it. I love all the mushrooms that are all the way around, and it's such a beautiful container. I will be leaving it in my garden with a plant in. Now the plant that's in it, I'm going to be planting it in the garden, but I'll find something else to plant in here. So, in fact, I just thought of one I'm going to plant. Well, we'll see if I get it done. Thanks so much, my dear friends, for all your kindness and support. But don't forget, we have one more to share with you. This is a new succulent I bought a week or so ago. I planted it in this container. That's why it's looking so good, and it's just looks like it loves being where it is. We're going to turn this whole container into a succulent container pretty soon. So that's why I planted this in. But the rest of these are containers that are in here making it look full, and they'll be moved someplace else in the garden or planted. Well, this is our second fairy garden today I put together. This is a free post. I rearranged a few things and brought over. I took cuttings from my garden, so none of the plants in this container are new. They're all cuttings. They will look a lot prettier in a few more weeks. The little fairy house I already had, the path I had, the seed pods I already had. Found them on the ground, but they've been in past posts. And here is my cute little fairy. They're not new either, and neither is the little bench. The pathway is also a couple years old. And this is what you can do by just reusing, repurposing, shopping the house, shopping the garden, and you can make something wonderful, a little cozy corner, a little fairy vignette all around the garden. And you can see it's worked in to the other display that we shared earlier. There it is. And we didn't disturb anything from that post either. And it just goes on and on. Look at how pretty it looks. Just keeps going on. All the beautiful flowers and all the beautiful fairy accessories. You know how much Grandma loves making fairy gardens. So we did pretty good today. We had 2 fairy gardens for the cost of 0. And it'll even look prettier in a few more days, because you can see a couple of my flowers haven't even bloomed out yet. Maybe we'll come out here this evening and see if they bloomed and take a few more photos of it and add it to the post. Well, thank you so much, my dear friends, for stopping by to see what you can do in your garden for very little cost or free. Shop that house, shop that garden. And thank you all for all your love and support every Fairy Garden Thursday. We love having you here, and I'm so glad you're getting to enjoy all the beautiful flowers blooming in my garden. I live in Southern California. That's why you have so many beautiful blooms this time of the year. We get no snow here. Maybe once every 10 years we might get snow, but it doesn't stay long more than a couple hours. It's just too warm where I live. But you never know, we could have a freak storm. Other people have. Well, thank you all for your love and support. We're going to do a little slideshow of all the beautiful photos of these 2 fairy gardens. Please sit down with your cup of coffee and watch, please. See you next Thursday for Fairy Garden Thursday. you.